skeptical? No, we don't have to get security in here. Well, if you're on the fence or don't believe, I'm not here to sway you. I hope to present this as an educational piece with some neat catches in the later half, both from myself and some friends I've met along the way. Now back to the UFO reality. My first sighting, like many of us, brought about the beginnings of my reality shoot. It was 1990 and I was 13 years old. It was a warm spring evening on dusk and my mother was driving me to Air Cadets. We were travelling across the Lincoln Causeway from Wodonga to Albury and observed the massive thick trail plume appear in the sky with a glowing core. That's what it looked like. What happened next wasn't expected. It appeared to be a large meteor that had stopped falling and was hovering with the plume now dispersing around it. It broke into three separate pieces, one blue, one red and one green. They were all identical in size, triangular wedge-shaped objects. The blue triangle sat still and hovered in one place, with the red and the green wedge-shaped UFOs departing in separate directions. And as we continued to observe the blue stationary wedge for another several minutes, it never moved. We eventually lost sight due to the direction we were travelling, and the trees of the buildings blocked the view. I said to my mum with excitement, "It was a UFO, you know it was." She replied stating it was a meteorite in a very stern voice. From that moment on, Brad Morris myself gained a passion for trying to find the truth. I knew that there was something amazing taking place, and I also learnt that people can blindly reject with their rational mind, even after witnessing the impossible. So here we are today. Since then and up until now, I've had many more amazing moments, close encounters with unknown, unidentifiable objects, and in turn has driven my passion to a higher level, where I felt the need to create a local Facebook group, designed for people to share personal accounts and also report unusual objects as soon as possible, in a belief that this could help aid in identification or hopefully obtain better evidence such as multiple angle footage. I then moved to creating capital city groups across Australia, with Melbourne, Adelaide, Perth, Sydney and Brisbane communities created in September 2013. Now 2017, to date, all groups' combined membership is at over 5,220 members, and Melbourne UFO sightings taking the lion's share with over 3,250 members. Back when I began the groups in 2013, I was a fresh-faced newbie on the social media UFO scene, as many were. A UFO witness and believer, now moderating groups across the country. I really needed to learn quickly, as did the rest of the community. Little did we know we were entering the rise of fake news, one of the greatest challenges for any newbie or community of people learning. We will touch again on this soon. Modern ufology and the state it's in has compelled me to speak a presentation. I don't claim to have the answers or know it all. What I hope to present should bring a better understanding about where we are at. Welcome to UFO Now, an expose of the modern topic. Featured topics of discussion and videos displayed today. I'm going to scrap the fake news and social media section. We'll start off with exotic knowns, making identification, daytime observation and identification video. This is using high-end optics and all those little flashing specks up in the sky that you may see near the clouds. We're going to find out what they really are, or what most of them are. Where to from here? Discussion. All-night camera project. It's a little project I've been running for over a year. Objects of interest video uploads. We'll hear from Elon Musk on aliens, a great visionary, I believe. And then we'll get stuck into the second half of my own footage high-speed objects, photographs, daytime footage, UFOs at work, nighttime objects. Then featured researchers and footage. This is from people that are trusted within the UFO field. Browne, Paton, Adam Briggs, UFO Lou, Scott Browne, Charles Lamerourex. And at the end we'll summary and discussion and we'll have some questions. Here's some sky watching tips. It's great to get out, you know, with your friends and have a look up, especially when there's something astronomical taking place, like planets lining up. And the most important thing about going out and having a night out is being prepared and comfortable. You know, the longer you're out, the higher your chance of seeing something unusual. So, you know, it comes down to drinks, clothing, insect repellent, and so on. I won't read through all that. Just get into it. So this is the identification video. I've spent a lot of time using the P900, 2.5 years, which has 83 times optical zoom. And what you'll see is a lot of the objects up there are explainable, as I've already said. And some of the balloon creations you wouldn't believe, like stormtroopers and rows of balloons, ladybirds, different types of mylar balloons, semi-deflated, digit balloons. So you could imagine seeing this stuff and trying to record it with a cell phone, and it undoubtedly looks highly strange on a phone, some of this footage. But with high-end zooming, we can make the identification and figure out what they actually are. So it's shown at 40 times zoom, it still looks unusual. And then we step it up into 80 times zoom next, where you can actually see it's a number 3 or an S-shaped balloon with a string. So don't be fooled with a lot of the footage you see out there. Most of it's misidentification or hoax stuff coming straight off the internet. There is people actually recording real UFOs though, or anomalies. We don't know what they are. They appear to be intelligent. So whatever you think someone could create and launch, it's up there, especially around cities. You wouldn't think in your wildest mind to make something and let it go like that, but people do it. I'm not here to debunk the whole UFO topic. Sped this up so it doesn't take too long. As you can see, that row of balloons, lovely creation. Single balloons, very common. Shopping bags, they look unusual up there. You know, any warm day, probably step outside today, stick your camera up and you see stuff flying around. Look up there, look up tonight, you might see something real. This is just littering though. People that release helium balloons, it all ends up in the sea and in the bush, everywhere, you know. Must be millions every year. Weather balloons. A lot of UFO believers don't think weather balloons exist. They do. There's a few launched. weighted, they won't rock like a normal balloon. And here we have the NASA super pressure balloon that can on occasion be seen once a year, around June or July. NASA super pressure balloon that can on occasion be seen once a year, around June or July. So where to from here? It seems like quite a mess from any outstander looking into the topic for interest sakes. We need to ask where we're going and what do we want. We need to understand that technology that we now have to use to obtain evidence for a better understanding. For example, a laser rangefinder can give an accurate distance on an object, therefore a measurement can be used to determine size, speed, and speed in some cases. Specialist equipment isn't cheap. Cameras are the easiest to obtain and the most fun to use. If anyone has ideas on where the UFO topic should be leading, or ideas on how to get there and fund it, by all means, please comment. I think we need to act soon. If we ever stand a chance at making good ground on the phenomena, because within the next decade our skies will be very busy. Flying cars, delivery drones, cargo airships, and whatever else you could think of. The plus side may be more people will encounter them in flying automobiles, and dash cameras will be 24K resolution. The evidence could be incredible in the flying car future. That brings me to the next segment. What have I been doing with cameras and equipment? This is my all-night camera project that I've been running for over a year. To date, over 6,500 hours totaling 23 million plus frames have been reviewed. We'll start off with what I call a sky flash phenomena. While there's many excuses for this phenomena, including blown transformers, also natural phenomena, I primarily believe the majority are ejected from the Earth as piezoelectric phenomena. I've seen the flashes on many occasions eject from the ground around the northern suburbs. It's quite common. It may also be a precursor to the reported UFO sightings and airborne plasma type anomalous objects. There's still much to be discovered about this phenomenon. As you'll see there how intense some of the flashes are in the sky. Has anyone live around Melbourne and seen the sky light up like that? It's quite amazing. You'll see this object here I zoom in on that's above the flash. A triangular shaped object.
These flashes, they're like very quick these.
Yeah, yep.
Because I've seen like the lights in the sky light up and it's usually kind of hill or something, but not, that takes a while.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's actually quite common in some areas, a good distance away. Over the years I've seen real UFO eject bright flashes when both stationary and when taking off very fast, ejecting orange, green, white or blue light as intense energy. I've also witnessed clouds bursting brilliant multicolours at 3 AM, blue, red and green. With this camera running all night, there's no doubt in my mind I'll eventually record something that is truly unexplainable. Some of you may have seen the sky flashes. They are not known to only knock the power out, but also set off car alarms and fire alarms. It's really hard to say what the cause is with many of these without seeing the source. Yeah, but my favourite night object's just coming up here. I'm going to start off talking about it. The object, we've got a spiral. An object was captured spiralling, there it goes there, down the bottom of the screen. Captured spiralling through the neighbourhood, through houses. It's likely spherical and cricket ball to grapefruit size. It appears elongated due to the 1 second exposures. I really don't know what this is and can't explain it. It as anything normal. Maybe a viewer out there has seen or encountered one up close. Like we heard about the small white sphere in the earlier presentation. I don't believe these are a natural occurrence and would be in the belief it's likely a probe of some kind for a larger object. Many captures on this camera last for 1 second or one frame. They can be explained as natural phenomena. Some are a bit more unusual. You'll see up in the top left-hand corner, very quickly, purple object just flash. So we'll zoom in on that and check it out. This was captured 1 second duration. Now have a look, folks. Does that look like anything natural? I've gained some stunning media captures over the year of this camera operating. I hope to soon create an album with the frames collected in the coming months. Several of such captures have been spiral meteors, or what appear to be spiraling meteors, as you'll see. This one here, it's very fast, a couple of seconds duration in real time. You won't see it on this screen. It does an instant 30-degree shift in the two very faint frames I'm about to show. You see the illuminated frames. It's going to be a bit hard on this screen where the arrow pointed. There's two frames just before it becomes illuminated. You can see it comes down straight and then darts off at a 30-degree shift. Unusual phenomena has been known to travel at speeds over 30,000 kilometres an hour, so if they operate at that speed, will they look like a meteor if they're illuminated? Now we're going to hear from Elon Musk at the World Dubai Summit. And this guy is a great visionary.
Do you think we'll make contact with alien within the next 50 years?
Well, that's a really tough one to say. I mean, if there are super intelligent aliens out there, they're probably already observing us. That would seem quite likely, and we just are not smart enough to realize it. But I can do some back-of-the-envelope calculations, and any advanced alien civilization that was at all interested in populating the galaxy, even without exceeding the speed of light, even if you're only moving at, say, 10 or 20% of the speed of light, you could populate the entire galaxy in, let's say, 10 million years. Maybe 20 million years max. This is nothing, you know, in the grand scheme of things.
Very intelligent guy, so now this brings me to my footage and why, you'll soon see why I brought up Elon Musk and what he thinks. You know, throughout my years of reading books and watching documentaries trying to understand what I'd witnessed, I decided to take upon the challenge to try to attempt to record the phenomena, or the best suggestive examples of what the phenomena may look and act like. Now, following what Elon had to say, if there are any super intelligent aliens out there, they're probably already observing us. That would seem quite likely, and we're just not smart enough to realise it. Let's keep an open mind about that, folks. Especially in this first segment about high-speed objects. This object was recorded on the 21st of January 2014, north of Melbourne at 2:46 p.m. This high-speed object is captured in 4 frames at 30 frames a second, whilst recording a fire. The object is extremely unusual. It appears to turn after the second frame and track my way of action on the 4th frame. 3rd and 4th frames show good detail and dimensional depth, with the shading suggesting not only an unusual shaped object, but also fast and large at a distance.
Your capture, Brett? Pardon? Was that your capture?
Yeah. This object isn't a flying saucer or a spaceship. It isn't a bird or a bug, but something highly unusual. Very quick. And you'll also see in some of the zoom frames that it has a node protruding from it. This could be a window of some kind. You'll see the note on the right hand side. And I ask, if these are operated by intelligent entities, then how do they operate at such speed? We've got 4 frames running at 30 frames a second. You know, some of these objects captured at high speed. A lot of the armchair experts write them off quite easily, but I'm willing to have a good look at them. And again, captured while recording a large grass fire in outer northern Melbourne. This is one of several similar high-speed objects captured at 720p 50 frames a second on the 18th of February 2013. The footage shown is only 1 second's worth. It appears to travel several kilometres within this time frame, given at a rate of speed that would be impossible to spot and focus on visually. In the zooms we see the unusual characteristics with the skyworm type object, travelling as a Z shape, then flip over and flatten out to a cigar shape. So this is going to be very hard to see. It starts off on the left hand side and then travels through. You'll see it on those zooms. I zoom in closer. So here we are down half screen. You'll see it. Actually travels through the smoke. It fades as it goes through the smoke, giving an indication on distance. Then it flips over and flattens out to a cigar shape. Takes off. You're looking at something that travels quite a few kilometres within 1 second that I can place at that distance, 9.8 kilometres away. What it is doing, I don't know. During that fire there was quite a few helicopters fighting that blaze, so these things operating at that speed without hitting them is incredible. Here's another object, the same fire. This is a boomerang type object, or I think it might be the same type of object. Once again captured during the fire near Epping, Melbourne on the 18th of February 2013. This also is 1 second's worth of footage. It takes a boomerang shape with a highly unusual flipping motion in flight. The frame's broken down and had the noise reduced and enhancements in the Lightroom. With the technology available today of high frame rate versus high resolution, we should soon learn the reality of high-speed objects. While many of these are easily rejected by armchair experts, I ask people to keep an open mind and remember what Elon said. You know, are we looking at an unusual boomerang-shaped object here? I don't know. It would appear that way. So here we go into photographs. We'll start with my brother Blake's photographs of his encounter with a bright white orb whilst fishing. This occurred in Upper Gundarran on the Koowa River, northeast Victoria. The spear took off straight up, leaving my brother puzzled before he could obtain video footage. He managed to capture 3 photographs. That's in the middle of nowhere, fishing. Here's a silver sphere I captured. A series of 7 photographic frames captured in 1 second at 1000mm focal length on high speed setting above the northern suburbs. It was travelling southeast against the wind at high speed and later reported to be following an aircraft about an hour after I snapped the pictures. Perfect spherical object, and I believe that thing hanging under it is a vortice of energy of some kind. These photos look awesome in high res. Now we're going to daytime footage of a fireball type object I captured. This is a nice piece of rare footage captured on the 11th of May 2014 at 5:20 PM. Northwest of Melbourne. This is quite possibly a re-entry of some sort. It's very slow for a space rock. I give this good possibility of an anomalous object in the upper atmosphere. Good good rare piece of footage one way or the other. It's not often you see real footage of this kind of stuff. You see this highly luminous core, then it just fades to nothing. So this could be a transparent object. We'll get into the transparent objects later. This, it's going to run through some frames here of it, show you. So a lot of these captures, I've spent thousands of hours outside capturing this stuff. A lot of people will say, oh, why don't I see them and that. It's just a matter of being out as much as you can, looking up. Exactly. They're up there, believe me. This next footage is the UFO and the Hornet. Captured south of the city on the 20th of March 2016, reported with the Nikon P900 at an estimated distance of 20 kilometres away. The FA-18 was performing manoeuvres. This object passes it in the field of view. The object displays shape-changing characteristics, and again, node-type protrusions in many frames. We'll go in for a zoom in a minute, after the replay. Unfortunately, this footage was taken on a hot day and at a good distance, hence the atmospheric distortion due to the heat and distance. The zoom frames have been cropped and restructured in editing software. You see the shapes and the nodes as it lights up. Highly unusual. This could be some form of plasma, energy plasma, something intelligently driven, but it appears to near miss the FA-18. And if you're looking throughout UFO history, there's a lot of occurrences where these types of objects nearly miss aircraft. Even going right back to the war where they talk about the Foo Fighters. See, it has a lot of shape change in that object. No actual true form or shape. So we go into my favourite segment here, UFOs at work. This points out why I like to take Lisa's DVR digital video recorder everywhere, because you never know when or where a sighting will take place. Chances are you'll always be unprepared. This gold-orange sphere was recorded from work on the 15th of July 2015 in the outer north suburbs of Melbourne during my lunch break. It appeared stationary and later vanished when I was about to grab my P900 camera for a closer look. I speculated it may have been an iridium flare, but have since seen this object on several other occasions and take the view this golden spherical object is an anomaly that visits locally. It can sometimes be seen in a triangular formation with three of them, and that's the real deal right there. You'll see on the zoom soon, getting quite close, how luminous it is. It's like a mini sun in its core, just quite possibly pure energy. We need to ask where these things come from, because they don't land at airports. We go from highly luminous objects to semi-transparent objects. This is heavily compressed footage. This is what I call a jellyfish or semi-transparent type object. The original clip was lost on a crashed hard drive, so I've only got this heavily compressed clip. These are hard to see, these objects. Nevertheless, it was recorded on my DVR from work. The object appeared and then disappeared as fast as it appeared. They sometimes have like a cloud-like substance dripping off them for a short period of time and then just disappear. So, you know, if something like this appeared in the sky above you, a lot of people say, oh, it's just a cloud, whatever. But
it's a big one in Russia.
Yeah. this next object is actually one of my favourites. I've done more enhancements on this to show you than any other object. It's a white triangle. It was captured on the 4th of March 2015 during my lunch break, and possibly one of the better quality daytime captures I have. You'll see why in the zoom frames at the end. I first spotted what I thought was an orb near the cloud moving roughly 5 minutes before this was recorded. That's what compelled me to start scanning the cloud with the camera. After several minutes, sure enough, something flies into the view. I was also able to track it and zoom in on it. This is incredibly hard to do with something so fast heading overhead. These are slowed down clips. The white object holds a nice triangular shape and also is captured changing shape, morphing or tilting. This object is what you could expect to see during a close encounter. Highly unusual characteristics, likely transparent with a luminous core. This is a good representation of the UFO/UAP phenomena. This isn't a man-made object, it's inter alia from elsewhere. It's clips like this that keep me searching, removing frames, cleaning them up and putting them back together, while taking notice of the unusual very closely. This is a study that you can't learn from the internet or textbooks. Many people argue about where these objects come from. Really, it's a non-argument. Each possibility is alien to our understanding. Once you accept they are intelligently driven, and humans from both now and the past are not responsible for it. Only then can you start to accept the importance of the phenomenon. We're being watched by another intelligence. This will one day be the greatest discovery, and that day shouldn't be too far away with the technology we now have to find the evidence needed. So this is just going through super slow motion. Now this set of frames, it shows its shape changing. Now I zoom in and clean it up a bit after this. So that series of frames here, you watch the shape changing characteristics, frame by frame at 50 frames a second. Back to a triangle with a nice node underneath. Now we're just going to run through some of the other frames, showing the triangular shape, luminous core. Also, on real high res, you can see it has a semi-transparent edge. So whatever's glowing is the energy inside it, or the intelligence inside it. You know, whether this is, if this landed and aliens got out, I don't know. I couldn't say, but this is highly unusual. This isn't technology that you'd see humans creating. This is more organic-based technology, quite possibly something from another dimension or another time that's been pushed through to watch us or do something. I don't know. Now we go into night objects. So I've only got several captures featured here. The first one was sent in to me on Facebook on the 19th of July 2015 at 3:20 AM. Captured by Mel Dixin, a hobbyist astronomer, braved the cold, -3 degrees this morning, sky watching her with her astromaster scope. She then noticed an unusual object in the southeastern sky. She quickly turned her scope and attempted to record it with her cell phone. She managed to capture a few clips. The clip featured is a 3-second video broken down in an edit and several photographs at the end. So this is frame by frame rerun, zoomed in. This again is most likely a plasma type anomaly. So as you see, the modern UFO phenomena mainly consists of plasma type anomalies, not flying saucers and other stuff you hear about. So the phenomena is either changed or a lot of the older stuff was hoaxed, I'm not sure. Anyway, well done, Mel. That was good, clean footage of an unusual night object. Here's the photographs she got of it. And the reason why I showed that, because the next object here, captured flashing here, I reported 3 hours earlier the same night. And we get this, it's like a wave or a flap of activity that every so often, maybe once or twice a year, there'll be activity reported from all sides of Melbourne, southern Victoria, even northern Victoria, all at once. For some reason they just all appear all at once. This was captured 3 hours earlier than the previous submitted footage. This was recorded by myself with several cameras. What we're watching is the second camera used footage from the P900, using the most of the high-end optical extension. The object was in the northern sky over the far outer northern suburbs, and eventually moved east out of my view. We will see in the amazing high-resolution frames of the visible flashes replay and crop closer soon when the footage finishes. We also need to understand if this was captured on a low zooming device such as a cell phone, it would be a minute blinking dot and written off by armchair experts. But under high magnification and 50 frames per second full HD, we can see that this object is highly unusual. Better yet, imagine if a telescope was used with high-grade rangefinder laser and a return on distance was registered. We could then accurately estimate the real size in comparison to the percentage of frame taken by the object. So the footage is still playing. We're going to go into the zooms in a second. As you can see, the different colours, different shapes it's emitting. No one's seen one of these. Maybe if you look up as much as you can, you may actually encounter one of these. Here we have the colours and shapes on each flash emitted. Once again, this must be a plasma or organic type material that can bend or flex, or this is just showing the core and the outside may be transparent. So either the core is energy moving about, emitting different colours. And it's going to get bigger. We're going to bring it up to quite possibly real life size in a minute. You can only imagine if you walked outside out your backyard at 3 AM one morning and come across something like this in your backyard, what would you do? Run or say, open up, pleased to meet you? Yeah, we start bringing it up bigger now. You see quite a few, it's holding triangular shape in quite a few frames. You know, this real footage like this does exist out there. A lot of the stuff you see on the net is completely fake. There we go, quite more likely life size right now. The next segment, I'm going to feature researchers and trusted people around Melbourne. This guy's Paton. He's created his own observatory in his backyard. He's definitely a local one to watch over the coming years. His home-built observatory, also a huge arsenal of specialised cameras and equipment acquired. You know, it's all anomaly investigation orientated. Browne is a generous and easy to speak to character, a trusted individual within my community. You know, if you ever have any questions about anything, reach out and ask him. He's a great guy. Knows a lot. And the next one is unfortunately a good friend of mine that passed away, Briggs. This is one of his great captures, an unidentified object over northern Melbourne, August 25th, 2014, reported from Brunswick West with the Nikon P600. This is a stunning object, folks. This was looks cylindrical, multicoloured. Adam served time as a trusted friend and admin in Melbourne UFO Sightings Facebook group. Adam's knowledge into the topic extended into the historical research side, but was also open-minded and took modern values with attempts to record anomalous objects. Adam shared his personal accounts with myself about his previous sightings. That included a landing he sighted as a child on the New South Wales coast. I quite often had good communication with Adam when a sighting occurred. He played a key role as admin, often listening to the emergency scanner whilst looking to the western horizon, at the ready, reporting to the group and myself. May Adam rest in peace. Just look at the zoom in on that. And could you explain that as anything normal? You know? This sat in the sky for 50 minutes, this one. That's in international flight space above the northern suburbs. So you told me they don't know what's going on. You know, I bet they wish these things just go away. But they're here to stay, folks. And if any of you have did your research UFOs on YouTube around Melbourne? Yeah? Anyone else?
Ancient aliens? Yeah,
Yeah.
full on.
They're just as cool.
Yeah, and J-Rod.
Yeah, so if you do, you'd know UFO Lou, more than likely. He's one of the original Melbourne UFO hunters. Just search UFO Melbourne and Lou's name and his videos or his channel will pop up. You'll see one of his triangles appear and then disappear. This is a semi-transparent object coming luminous down the bottom of the screen. Unfortunately, that's getting in the way, but you'll see it in the zoom up the top there. You know, Lou has some great captures. If you browse his channel, he's got plenty that show truth stealth UFOs in action above the suburbs. I've followed and taken notes of Lou's channel since 2011. We're going to listen to Scott Browne, one of his great captures. This guy's from America.
Okay, so I think I caught something kind of unique here. This is straight up above, almost above my head. And it will shoot off 3 times. The first
So we've got a
one's
bit of a glitch.
It's going to be to the left diagonally.
Okay, we're back on.
There it goes once,
Semi-transparent object.
twice, 3 times.
Captured on a Pulsar Recon 550R.
So here I just changed the contrast a little bit and the color to try to bring out more detail. You're going to see the 3
Completely transparent.
takeoffs, I guess you can call them. At the very end, I'll slow it down. On the 3rd one, you're going to see it go behind the tree, and then it comes out for a second, and then takes off behind the tree again.
Pops back out looking at him. That object was watching him. You wouldn't see it visually. This is from Canada. Lamerourex.
What's that? What is that?
This is all project something.
Okay, what is that? Just over the bridge there. It's not a bird. It's an orb. Let's go back up. Check her out. Oh, jeez, I'm stuck. It's on the side of the film there. something. Oh, wonderful.
I'll replay it in a minute. So I replay it in black and white. You may or may not see it as very faint, but it actually shoots something out very fast. Quite likely a probe or something to go around down around houses. There it is there. Yeah, so in summary, what you've all seen today is far from in detail. It's a brief expose of several sections of the modern topic, footage and, making identification. We haven't gone right into the fake news and social media problem or the other problems such as gurus and cultism and the others that affect. Pardon?
Disclosure project.
Yeah. Well, they can try, but they never eventually disclose anything. They make plenty of money along the way.
Yeah.
But as you can see, there is genuine attempts out there to find the phenomena, investigate it, even locally. You just got to keyword search, find all local groups and people, meet them. They're all lovely people, and we have sky watches every now and then where people are allowed to come along and join in. There's always good discussion and chat and people spotting things in the sky every night. And a lot of it gets figured out as identified, satellites and stuff like that. People have different levels of understanding and knowledge, but that's all good. It's all fair game, and plenty of fun.